everyone. I have a message for you this week from Romans chapter 10, verses 2 to 4, which say, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth." I like this verse because it makes it so clear what our relationship with the law is. We are no longer use it to relate to God or to try to become right with God to gain righteousness, which it could never truly provide. That's why Jesus had to come and to save us, because we needed a new nature that could truly connect with God, because otherwise we could never be reconciled unto Him because of the carnal nature, which Paul describes as being at enmity with God or opposed to God, as well as the things of God. Trying to keep the law or do what we know to be right even was impossible because of this. That's why Jesus had to come. Trying to keep the law or keep the commandments was a futile exercise. However, the Pharisees and religious leaders in Jesus' time, as well as the nation of Israel as a whole, rejected this idea, which is why Paul says in this passage that they had a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. They didn't know, and they refused to believe that Jesus had come to give them true righteousness and a true connection with God. And as a result, they killed him and continued trying to relate to God on the basis of the law. However, there are still many people today who try to do the same thing. So I encourage you to study and to see that the law is no longer how we receive our righteousness, and that in fact it never could make us right with God, but rather that Jesus came and gave us His own nature and His own life so that we could be once again connected to God, and so that we could do His will without any works of our own required other than to believe. Thank you all for listening. Hope to see you next week.